All right, welcome in, everyone. Diving deep today.
Yeah, deep.
I'm Lex,
And I'm Vera.
and we're from the Excel Edge podcast show.
That's right.
And we have a really fascinating deep dive planned for you all today, especially for those of you out there who are aspiring Filipino real estate salespeople, agents, and realtors.
Mabuhay to our Excel Edge podcast listeners
We're going to be taking a look
and to the entire Philippine real estate community.
at Filipino ownership of properties beyond their primary residence.
Yes.
So not just your first home.
Exactly.
We're looking at what comes next.
We are going beyond that initial purchase.
And we've gone through a few sources to kind of compile all this for you.
We have.
And you can think of this as your cheat sheet to understanding this part of the market.
Absolutely.
So we're looking at excerpts from our All Notes 300-2025.
Yes.
And that includes a briefing document, a study guide.
Even some FAQs.
We've got a timeline, a
Accurate
cast of characters.
That's right.
And all this is based on the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, the BSP 2021 Consumer Finance Survey.
Exactly.
And we're also going to be pulling some insights from a Daily Tribune article.
So what we're really aiming to do here
Mm-hmm.
is cut through the noise and really bring you the key insights from that BSP survey that are most relevant to you.
Yeah, I like that. Cut through the noise.
Yes.
That's what we're trying to do.
Exactly. So you can apply this knowledge
That's right.
to your work in Philippine real estate.
So what is the mission here? What are we looking to explore?
We are on a mission to explore the opportunities and trends
Okay.
that exist beyond just that first-time home buyer market.
Exactly. We know you're all busy out there. You want to get up to speed quickly without feeling completely overwhelmed.
Right.
So let's just jump into it.
Let's dive in.
What's the big picture here when it comes to Filipinos owning additional properties?
So the survey
Mm-hmm.
looked at what they call primary economic units, or PEUs. And essentially this represents
PEUs. All right.
a household or a financially independent individual.
Gotcha.
And what's fascinating
Okay.
is that approximately 6% of these PEUs own or own real property in addition to their primary residence.
Okay, 6%. I mean, on the surface, that might not sound like a huge number, but what's the significance of that?
Well, that tells us that there's a definite market beyond just those first-time home buyers.
Okay.
So these are people who've moved beyond that initial purchase
Right.
and are investing further in property.
Interesting.
It indicates a segment of the population with the financial capacity
Yeah.
and the interest in expanding their real estate portfolio.
Okay. Yeah, that's a really important distinction there.
Yes.
So, who are these people and where are they located?
Right.
The survey kind of pointed to some interesting regional differences.
Absolutely. And this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
We see some significant variations in ownership rates when we look at different parts of the Philippines. For example, both Visayas and Mindanao show higher rates at 8%
Wow.
and 8.1% respectively.
Okay.
Compare that to Metro Manila,
Mm-hmm.
which has a lower rate of 3.1%.
That's a pretty striking contrast.
Yes.
Metro Manila, often seen as kind of the economic engine of the country,
Right.
has a lower percentage of people owning additional properties compared to Visayas and Mindanao.
It does.
Why is that?
That's a great question.
What could be some of the underlying reasons?
So several factors could be contributing to this.
Okay.
We have to think about the economic conditions in those regions,
Okay.
the relative availability and cost of land,
Makes sense.
and even cultural norms
Oh, interesting.
around land ownership.
Okay.
Perhaps in Visayas and Mindanao, land is more accessible, more affordable,
Mm-hmm.
or it holds a stronger cultural significance as a form of investment or inheritance.
Okay.
Now, this higher ownership in Visayas and Mindanao,
Yeah.
coupled with the strong agricultural focus,
Okay.
we'll discuss a little bit later,
Okay, yeah.
might suggest a market that's really ripe for agents who are specializing in rural properties or those who are catering to families with agricultural ties who are looking to expand their holdings.
Interesting.
So think about the potential for farm management services or connecting buyers with agricultural financing.
Yeah, that's a great point for our listeners to consider.
Yeah.
The opportunities might not solely be concentrated in those traditional urban centers.
Exactly.
So the survey also delved into how these additional properties were acquired.
It did.
And that has to be pretty key information for understanding the market, right? So
Right.
how are people getting these properties?
Right.
So what did the survey find?
So the survey found that the primary way these properties were acquired was through inheritance or gifts.
Okay.
accounting for a substantial 57.7%.
Okay, so over half
Yes.
inheritance or gifts.
Yes, and following that, a significant 30.7% were acquired through direct cash purchases.
So inheritance and gifts, I mean, that just highlights the importance of intergenerational wealth transfer in the Philippines.
It does.
But that, the almost 31% acquired through cash purchases is also a big deal.
Yes.
What does that tell us about the market?
It tells us there's a robust segment of the population that is actively investing in real estate,
Okay,
using their own capital beyond their primary residence.
I see.
This suggests a level of financial strength and a strong belief in the long-term value of property as an investment.
Interesting.
So for you as agents, this means you're potentially working with two distinct types of clients:
Okay.
those who are beneficiaries of family wealth
Okay.
and those who are actively seeking investment opportunities.
That's yeah.
Understanding these different motivations will be crucial for tailoring your marketing and sales approaches.
Absolutely.
Mm,
Knowing whether your client is inheriting a property versus actively looking to invest cash is going to shape your interactions with them, right?
absolutely.
So what kind of properties are these individuals investing in? Right.
What are the popular choices when we talk about additional property ownership?
So the survey provides a really clear picture here.
Okay.
Land is by far the most common type of additional property owned,
Okay.
making up 59% of the total.
59. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
House and lot comes in second at 22.1%,
Okay.
and farms account for 15.5%.
Land being the top choice, I mean, that's got to be telling us something, right?
Right.
Um, is it primarily for future development or for agricultural use or simply as a long-term store of value?
It's likely a combination of all of those reasons.
Okay.
Land offers flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
It can be held for future construction,
Right.
used for agricultural purposes,
Okay.
or simply seen as an asset that tends to appreciate over time.
Makes sense.
The significant percentage of farms also underscores the continuing importance of agriculture in the Philippine economy,
Yeah.
and for many families across the country.
Now, this dominance of land ownership is clear, but could there be other interpretations of this trend, besides future development or agriculture?
Like what?
Perhaps a cultural preference for tangible assets.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So this breakdown also suggests potential areas of specialization for our listeners out there.
It does.
An agent who focuses on agricultural land in regions where that's prevalent
Right.
might find a very specific and active market there.
Absolutely.
So what about the reasons behind these acquisitions? What's the main intended purpose or use of these additional properties?
Right. So the survey gives us some insight into that as well.
Okay.
The primary intended use at 41.5% is for agricultural purposes.
Okay.
And this reinforces the significance of farming-related property ownership,
Yeah.
especially when we consider those higher ownership rates in the more agricultural regions,
Yeah.
like Visayas Mindanao.
Okay.
Following that, 14% are intended as future homes,
Okay.
and 13.5% for use as vacation homes.
Oh.
Now, that desire for vacation homes,
Mm-hmm.
for example, could be linked to potential marketing towards overseas Filipino workers
Oh. Okay.
or the growing domestic tourism market.
Interesting. Yeah. So those numbers all make sense when we think about, we connect them back to those regional differences that we talked about earlier.
Absolutely.
And then the aspiration for future homes and leisure properties also speaks to, longer term goals and a certain level of financial well-being within those households.
Right.
So where are these properties typically located? Are Filipinos looking to invest in real estate outside of the Philippines?
Interestingly, almost all, a remarkable 99.8%
Wow.
of these additional properties are located within the Philippines.
Okay, so staying domestic.
Yes, this highlights a strong domestic market focus.
Mm-hmm.
The survey also indicated that a significant portion of these properties have been held for over a decade,
Okay.
suggesting a long-term investment perspective rather than short-term flipping.
Interesting. Yeah, that long-term holding really kind of points to that perceived stability and enduring value of real estate in the Philippines.
It does.
So let's shift gears a little bit and talk about the financial side of things.
Okay.
What did the survey reveal about the value
Mm-hmm.
and how these properties have performed in terms of appreciation?
So generally, the survey indicated that the majority of these additional properties were valued at 1 million pesos or less.
Okay.
However, there's a really important regional exception to note.
Okay.
Metro Manila,
Okay.
properties in the capital, particularly commercial buildings and condominium units, showed significantly higher average market values.
Okay, so while there might be a smaller percentage of individuals owning additional property in Metro Manila,
Right.
the value of those holdings tends to be considerably higher.
It does.
That's a key distinction there.
Yes.
For our listeners who might be, focusing their efforts in that capital region,
Absolutely.
what about appreciation? That's usually top of mind for investors.
Yes. So here's where the data gets really compelling.
Okay.
The survey found that nearly 95% of these additional real properties have appreciated in value.
Wow.
And the average market price is an astounding 8.4 times their original acquisition cost.
8.4 times,
Yes,
that's huge.
it is.
That's incredible.
It really underscores the long-term wealth-building potential.
Yeah.
As agents, you can use this to illustrate to potential investors the historical performance
Mm-hmm.
and why real estate remains a compelling asset class in the Philippines, especially when held over the long term.
Absolutely.
Yes.
8.4 times the original cost. I mean, that's
It's powerful.
a powerful statistic.
Yeah.
It really reinforces that real estate is a sound long-term investment strategy.
Yes.
Especially in the Philippines.
Yes.
The survey also touched on the value of different types of land, if I'm remembering correctly.
It
What
did.
did it say about that?
So arable land.
Specifically, land used for farming tended to command a higher market value compared to properties that were not cultivated.
Okay, yeah.
This makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah.
When you consider the potential for generating income from those agricultural activities.
Right, it's producing something.
Exactly.
So let's bring all this data back to our core audience here, the aspiring and current Filipino real estate professionals.
Yes, let's.
What are the most crucial takeaways for them?
Okay.
How can they leverage this information in their day-to-day work
Great question.
and their career development?
So for you, as agents working in Visayas and Mindanao,
Okay.
this higher ownership rate
Yeah.
suggests a potentially larger pool of clients looking to invest in additional properties,
Okay.
perhaps with a focus on agricultural land.
Yeah, go.
Understanding these regional nuances is key.
Mm-hmm.
The higher ownership rates in Visayas and Mindanao, coupled with the prevalence of agricultural land and that strong inclination towards long-term holding.
Paints a picture of a different market dynamic
Okay.
compared to the more urbanized Metro Manila,
Okay.
recognizing the motivations behind different property types, whether it's land for future development,
Yeah.
farm for income generation,
Okay.
or vacation homes for leisure,
Mm-hmm.
will allow you to tailor your services better
Right.
and connect with the specific needs of your clients.
Yeah. And acknowledging that significant appreciation of real estate overall.
Right.
It's a powerful message for potential buyers and sellers.
It is.
Right. It
Yeah.
really underscores the long-term value proposition that you as agents can highlight.
Absolutely. And it seems relevant to mention
Yeah.
the focus of our own organization,
Okay.
Excel Edge Realty,
Mm-hmm.
given the higher property values observed in Metro Manila, particularly for those commercial and condominium units,
Yeah.
and the overall trend of significant appreciation,
Mm-hmm.
our focus on that mid-price to high-ticket market segment aligns strategically with these findings.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Percent.
Understanding where the higher value segments are concentrated,
Right.
like in Metro Manila with commercial and condo units,
Mhm.
and recognizing that overall trend of appreciation
Right.
can really inform your business focus and client targeting.
It can.
So to kind of bring it all together,
Yes.
this deep dive into the BSP survey has revealed a really interesting and multifaceted market
It has.
for additional real properties here in the Philippines.
Yes.
We've seen regional variations in ownership,
Absolutely.
diverse methods of acquiring these properties,
Mhm.
a clear preference for land,
Yes.
and really compelling evidence of that long-term value appreciation across the board.
Across the board.
And for our Filipino real estate professionals,
Yes.
this information should provide some valuable insights
It does.
into identifying potential growth areas,
Mhm.
understanding the motivations and preferences of property owners,
Yes.
and ultimately providing more informed and effective service to your clients.
Exactly.
So for those of you out there who are ambitious,
And looking to focus on that mid-price to high-ticket real estate market
yes,
here in the Philippines,
right,
we encourage you to visit our website
yes,
at www.excel.com.ph
to learn more about Excel Edge Realty.
to learn more about Excel Edge Realty and how you can potentially join our team.
That's right.
And as we wrap up, here's a final thought for you to consider.
Okay.
With inheritance playing such a significant role
Right.
in the acquisition of additional properties,
Mm-hmm.
how might a deeper understanding of intergenerational wealth transfer strategies
Interesting.
provide you with an advantage
Absolutely.
in the Philippine real estate market?
That's a great question to ponder.
That's something to think about.
Yes,
And that brings us to the end of this deep dive.
it does.
Remember to click that follow button
Please do.
and share this valuable knowledge with your colleagues and anyone else who can benefit from understanding the dynamics of the Philippine real estate market.
Exactly.
Until our next deep dive, stay informed.
And keep pushing your Excel edge.
Keep pushing it.